Welcome, guys, to episode 2 of Wichita Vice.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Thank you guys for coming in. All right. So let me introduce everyone here. To my right, I have
Old Man Jaws hitting you up.
Marquez Christopher Easton.
My name is Gerardo Caleros.
I'm Kai McKenzie.
My name is Patrick, P-A to the T.
Oh, is there another introduction
Oh,
on that?
no, that was it.
Oh, okay. All right. You let- little
that was
cliffhanger
it.
there, you guys. All right. Well, you guys, hey, I'm so excited to be back. We got so much to talk about. So, you guys, well, let's dive on in. So, we started a thing last episode, and if you guys wanted to, if you missed our last episodes, follow us on YouTube on the Razor Cut information, especially under Wichita Vice. Check us out, like and subscribe, you guys. It's beneficial. We're going to give away some
that's right.
tickets, and we'll talk about that here shortly. All right, you guys. So we did a thing called Hero and Villain of the Month, and the winners are from Marvel. The villain, we have Green Goblin.
All right.
Everybody's like, uh-huh.
In the DC, you guys, we got Doomsday.
Doomsday. Yes.
All right, and for our heroes for Marvel, we have Spider-Man.
Yeah, buddy.
And then for DC, we have The Flash.
The Flash.
Flash.
All right, you guys. So let's talk a little bit about the villains here. So, Gerardo, I'm going to talk to you. What do you know about the Green Goblin?
So the Green Goblin, originally played by Norman Osborn. He's just for me, he's just a character, Carlos, that is envious of Spider-Man. And that Green Goblin kind of look really represents like the envy, for me. So I just know that he's out to get him. He's really envious, and he just really doesn't like him. Just wants to get rid of Spider-Man.
Gotcha. And what about you, Marquez?
Well, the thing about envy, it can be dangerous because there's no way to really satisfy envy. It's just kind of there, and once you let it turn inward, it can consume you. I love the Green Goblin as a villain. He's actually one of Spider-Man's most recognizable villains, as far as I'm concerned.
Pat?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Marquez. I mean, the Green Goblin is kind of that villain that Spider-Man always just wants to defeat and is just going to compete all the time. There's other villains out there that Spider-Man has, but it's just that one. I think in any type of superhero, there's always that one villain that they want to defeat. You know what I'm saying?
And Chris?
Well, I really like the how it's generational. It's they keep it in the family with first the Norman Osborn dad getting the serum, and then the son just probably because envious of his dad and Spider-Man as well, and even his friend Peter Parker, who's lost his family and his next family they had basically. Yeah. So there's a lot of turmoil going on with the old Green Goblin, and
Absolutely.
I really like the original, the Tobey Maguire Green Goblin with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah,
He played that.
I definitely agree.
Just that demented.
And when you think
character.
about that movie, that was back before the Marvel Expanded Universe. Nobody really knew how this was supposed to work. And
that was with Sony,
actually,
correct?
Yeah, that was
Sony.
Sam Raimi. They nailed that one, in my
Yes, they did.
opinion.
I agree.
He's great.
See, and the thing is what what it astonished me is a lot about Green Goblin is he gives Spider-Man the hardest time. Especially, I give credit to rest in peace Stan Lee for introducing him in the Spider-Man edition. I think it's Article 14. When he came in, he created a dynamics for Spider-Man, because how Spider-Man, he has his what's it called, his powers, right? So we know that in the old comic books, if I'm not mistaken, he uses the cartridges, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So here, when I was just going in depth on his powers, I mean, the guy got superhuman strength. The guy also is gifted in martial arts level, hand-to-hand combat. How can people forget? All the Spider-Man fans know the pumpkin bombs. I mean, those.
Yeah, those are
Those
pretty.
pumpkin, and the glider. Don't forget the glider. The glider is always, he's just flying one way or another. So, but I feel that he is the number one guy out of the Sinister Six. Out of all the villains that Spider-Man has to deal with, he's unique. I find him different than Venom, than Carnage, Dr. Octopus.
Electro.
Vulture. Hydra Man, don't. I don't.
Yeah.
Vulture.
Hey, Michael Keaton did a good job on that, though.
Yes, he did. He
knows
nailed
that.
that.
Mysterio.
Yeah.
Too.
Mysterio, yes.
Yeah,
That's
gotta
a good
love
one.
Mysterio.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites. I like him. So let's go a little bit on the DC side. So we've got Doomsday.
Yes.
So you're the Superman fan, Marquez. Talk to me a little bit about Doomsday.
Doomsday is an extraordinary villain. He's basically a result of a prehistoric Kryptonian science, biogenetic engineering from early Kryptonians. During Krypton's early days, when they were trying to leave Krypton, they developed an organism that would go out and find threats and defeat them. And each time the organism fell back to Krypton, it was defeated, but it was a little stronger. It was a little stronger until eventually it just became unbeatable. And in order to get rid of it, they just contained it and shipped it in outer space. And
Everything winds up here.
and basically the extent of his powers basically has this super mega human adaptive reserve. Pretty much anytime you hit him, he just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So you have to always keep reinventing yourself whenever you fight Doomsday. I mean, there's really no amount of force or reason can stop this villain. And I think, Superman should never have killed him. I think this is just from a narrative point of view. Should have just been one of those villains that should just be out there.
Yeah, he got a very
Always
a looming threat that could come back at
Yeah.
any moment. That I hate it whenever Doomsday shows up in the comic, in the movie, and in any animation. They kill him, and I'm like, no.
Well, speaking of that, okay, like for example, Pat, did you feel that in Doomsday? Okay, but let's throw in the comic book edition. What year did the comic book come out?
1992.
Okay, so compared to that
sounds
and
about-
compared to Batman vs Superman the movie, do you feel Doomsday was given justice for his true character, or
No, I thought when they did Batman versus Superman, it did not give them justice
Yeah.
of Doomsday, because that could have been the time to. I understand that was the big story from the movie, but when you have a villain, well, it doesn't make any sense. If you're going to do a movie that says Batman versus Superman, you shouldn't have a villain. That should have been separated. But when they added Doomsday, it's just pretty much. Oh, it's kind of like with Spider-Man 3 when they had the Venom.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
was, you're right.
They
Yeah,
just
threw him
quickly
in there.
they just threw him in here, but they didn't
We
build
talking about
him
Sandman?
up.
Yep.
They didn't
Yeah.
build him up. I mean,
Yeah.
they could have at least not had Doomsday in that movie. So yeah, they didn't do him justice.
or at
all.
least hint it to him
Yes.
for another movie. You're right.
Correct. I
was
agree
just,
with you.
They brought him in way too early.
Correct.
I mean, there was just.
He should have been the Thanos of the Justice League
More or
arc,
less.
really.
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
when he came around,
that's a
he
good
wiped
point. I
out
like that.
every
Yeah,
superhero.
yeah, and
in
not
his
and
path.
not and I try. I don't. To me, Doomsday is more of a force of nature. He's kind of like a remnant
Almost like
of
Galactica
Krypton.
or something.
Yeah, Galactus.
Galactus, yes,
sorry,
yes,
yeah.
yes,
I mean,
yes.
it's just this ball of rage that just, is constantly moving forward. Just
and on that, and speaking of that, Gerardo, so for example, does Doomsday is he on the same level as Darkseid for Superman? What kind of comparison as villain wise is he better than Darkseid, or Darkseid's better than him? What would you compare on that?
Carlos, I'm really not familiar with both of them very well, but if I were to pick, it'd be Doomsday over Darkseid any day. And I don't know if you guys want to correct me on that. What do you guys think?
What do you got,
It could
Chris?
be a tough battle. I mean,
I'll be honest. I'm not familiar with Darkseid,
Darkseid?
so I don't know.
certainly.
yeah.
Go ahead,
And then
Marquez.
hand it right back on to Marquez.
Yeah, I'm about to eat that mic.
No, Darkseid's.
He's a
there's
little more-
typically in comic book mythos. There's, not to categorize them. I mean, to me, they're all villains, but there's a soldier villain, which is like Doomsday, and then there's the mastermind. I
Right.
think Darkseid is both of those mixed.
he
Whereas
had
the
to-
Doomsday is very one-dimensional.
gotcha.
Darkseid, he's very calculating, cold. He's studied.
Well,
he's
and
measured.
He's battle
and he's
oriented.
and
He's always looking for
lived.
competition to fight.
He's from New Genesis, and this is basically from Greek mythology. And he's more calculating than Doomsday. Doomsday is just straightforward.
Right.
Darkseid has
Plays in a
so
path.
many different things at his disposal, whereas Doomsday is just brute strength, brute force. Whereas the Darkseid has that, but he knows how to use his.
Just-
Like say for instance, this is probably a poor analogy, but like say for instance, if you and I were racing, the same car, same amount of horsepower, but I know more about the car. You know, so I'm gonna beat you, even though it's the same car, even though we're driving the same, and it's the same way with these two characters. I think the word better is it depends on what the writers want to do.
Gotcha.
You know, when you say better, you have to be more specific. Like from a narrative point of view, I think Doomsday would be fun to write.
Right.
You know, but I think it would make more sense to do Darkseid because you can dive inward, you can internalize. Darkseid is far more internalized.
More
Doomsday
features,
doesn't think. He's just raw, just rage. You know, so to me, Darkseid, I think.
Well, Darkseid's always trying to trap Superman, whereas Doomsday's just fight.
Just trying to fight him.
And that's the thing. He's simple, he's direct, and he's focused. Whereas the Darkseid has all these
machinations.
You know. So I think if you're going to write a story, I think Doomsday would be fun to write.
No,
because you could, you know.
So on that being said, you feel that Doomsday is, so when it really comes down to it, you think that's Superman's
Apples and oranges.
I mean, I just want to know who's
well,
better out of those two villains. Don't say Lex Luthor, please, because that's just ridiculous.
But again, Lex
he's smart.
Luthor
He's
is a
coming
thinker.
back,
He's
man.
a mastermind. And there's something to be said about a mastermind, because somebody who is always thinking, always in their own mind, you know, and then when they come out, you know, they have something. The thing about a thinker is that they're always improving.
Yep.
You know, versus a soldier villain, a brute force. There's not. I mean, Doomsday's pretty much topped out. That's why I think he'd be fun to write because you know you could take that limit and you can
keep going.
Yeah, you can expand it. But a character, a thinker is they're always, usually improving.
So if
Batman, he's always.
I guess if Doomsday had that kind of intellectual, intelligence as Darkseid, do you think Doomsday would surpass Darkseid then?
Most likely.
Yeah.
I mean, because Darkseid, you know, Doomsday, like I say, his body is super adaptive to whatever. Whereas to Darkseid, he's already pretty much topped
Probably
out.
Physically.
Yeah.
Top.
Yeah. Whereas the Superman or Doomsday
just keeps going.
Yeah, no matter what. I think I can't remember which story. Dang it, I should have brought this, but there's some sort of he has some sort of adaptive reserve. I mean, his body has a capacitive memory for the type of energy it's exposed to, so he can actually absorb whatever you do.
And they showed that really well in the movie, am I right?
Yeah,
okay, so we'll give him credit on that.
Yeah.
Well, let's change.
There's a few things.
Let's change gears a little bit. Let's focus on the good guys. So
Everyone loves the
we need the
hero.
good guys here. So on the Marvel side, let's talk about a little bit about Spider-Man. I mean, let's do something a little bit more in depth, something that maybe we don't know about. So you know, he's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you know, Kai, what do you know a little bit about Spider-Man? What do you know about Spider-Man?
Yeah, well, I started with the Tobey Maguire movies, first three. Well, I guess there was only three, but you know what I mean. So, Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man. I haven't even seen the middle one.
The amazing one.
Andrew.
Yeah, the Amazing
Andrew Garfield.
Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
They're okay.
But I have
good.
seen a little bit of the new one. But by far, you know, having not seen the middle one and a lot of the newer guy, what's his name?
Tom
His actor,
Holland.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
He's a good Spider-Man.
He's-
I'll give
oh,
him
yeah,
that.
he's
He's
I
excellent.
agree with
Yeah.
that.
But Tobey Maguire's my man, and you know the Venom one, the third movie, kind of got a bad rep. He was kind of weird, kind of got like early 2000s emo.
Yeah,
Everybody thought
it
was
didn't make any
cool.
sense.
But
He was more of a comedian.
yeah.
It was like he was a stand-up comedian for some
Especially
reason.
that
Yeah.
scene, that whole dancing
Oh
around
yeah,
the people.
oh,
I was
yeah.
like,
super
goodness.
awkward.
So I'm gonna go to restroom break. Real quick.
It gave me
Yeah,
anxiety.
but that's the
Felt
Spider-Man
awkward
that I
moment.
grew up with. So that's
Gotcha.
like
Yes.
what I started with, and kind of what made me fall in love with Spider-Man as a superhero. But that's like just those three movies, really all I know about Spider-Man. But he's I'm a big Iron Man fan.
Oh,
So I mean,
awesome.
He did a phenomenal job in Homecoming. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
his
it was.
his relationship with Iron Man in
Endgame.
Endgame, and well
That
before
was-
that,
that was
I haven't
good.
seen Homecoming either. So
Oh,
You need to catch us up to
Oh,
do,
yeah.
Kai.
Yeah.
I mean, you're-
Great.
Good
I got
show.
some catching
help
up to
Kai
do.
out with some Spider-Man people.
Tell me a little bit. Tell
Tom
me a
Holland
little,
ones are good.
yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pat, I mean, on that, what are the traits that makes you admire Spider-Man?
Well, I mean, first of all, Spider-Man is actually my favorite character.
All right, okay, go
Tell
at
you
it.
the truth, I'm actually known as Spider-Man at my work. I work with, I'm an audiologist, like an ear doctor, so I work with kids, and so there's a picture of me with Spider-Man on there, and so I'm kind of like Spider-Man there. But you know, their traits. He's humble. I think one of the things is he's humble. He never got egotistic and materialized and really got the power and made feel like he was better than everybody. He was so humble, like he appreciated, but he still wanted to hide it, as in, I still want to be a normal guy, right? You know, when he was at school and when he got older, he still wanted to be a normal being, but even though he had to help people, save people, he still did it in a humble way, if that makes sense. I mean, if you guys agree with me in a humble way, I think that's the one thing I really like about him. I mean, kind of going to the point where Kai was saying, like, I started knowing Spider-Man by the animated series.
Yes.
That was the little Spider-Man, you know.
What was it, 92, 94? Was that time, 92, 94?
That's how I believe how people view Spider-Man, and that's why I agree with him. I like Tobey Maguire's, because that's the one that it kind of related to the animated series, and so that's kind of how I feel about it.
Well, what about you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I like the classic, just the classic Spider-Man, the smart kid that not, trips on his walking down a floor, clear floor, that gets the superpowers, and all of a sudden, he could do anything. He could beat up the school bully if he wants, but he doesn't. Instead, he dodges and tries to get not. I mean, depends on the movie or which thing you want. But most of the time, he tries to be the good kid.
That's a testament to him being humble too.
Yes.
And his focus on his local, like, he's not trying to save the world, really. Most of the time, he's just trying to save his friends down the street, or that his main body of work is just the community.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Correct.
I mean, he wants to save everybody,
Right.
so he tries to get too big too fast sometimes,
Yeah.
but.
I'll sum it up with this great bit of literature. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
Word.
I think that line sort of set the stage, sort of set the foundation for this extraordinary character. I think you guys say he's humble, but I think this is the source. That line is the source of all his ideology. With
Yeah.
great
I
power.
agree.
That's one of the
Yes, I
great.
agree.
That's one of the
Yep.
best lines I think ever written. in
It's
comics.
inspiring.
I'll
Goosebumps
also
here. I'm like,
I'll say this. I'll say this. I think it was Stan Lee that said comic books don't get any respect as legitimate forms of entertainment or literature. I think when he wrote that line, that made everybody start. I mean, it definitely made me. That was mine. And so that's
Well, there's
my
so
take
much
on
in it.
Spider-Man.
It's challenging to you.
It makes you think.
Yeah.
It gives you. It
A
does, like you
goal,
say, it
it's a-
inspires you.
Yeah.
It just and it's true. It's true. It's in a comic, and it's true.
To wrap it up on Spider-Man, Gerardo, out of all the Spider-Man movies, what one was your favorite one?
Oh, man, you're making me nervous.
You need a lifeline?
A little bit. It's getting hot in here, Carlos. That's a really hard question, because I don't want to say I have like a favorite one, but the one I do kind of relate to the most is the ones with Tom Holland.
They're good. Very, very good.
Don't get me wrong, I respect Tobey Maguire, and he did great in presenting us Spider-Man in a movie, but Tom is just charismatic. He's fun to watch. He's fun to listen to. He's a great character. He knows his roles. He knows his lines, and the way he depicts Spider-Man in the MCU and in his own movies is just great.
And on that, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a British actor.
Yes.
The other ones
Yes.
were American.
Yes.
So
actors do
He's
better
a British
than
actor.
English
I know.
actors or
We
something.
got to step up our game. I mean, next thing you know it.
It's their crap that make us
Yeah,
crap.
he is a
so.
British actor. I think he is. Yeah.
But on that being said, on my end, no one's showing love to the old Spider-Man. I'm talking about the '60s when he was just standing when he did that little weird little pose.
Yeah.
But if
The old TV
to
show,
the,
do you
yeah,
remember
to
that?
the audience and viewers that are listening, I mean,
so
and watching, check it out. out, you guys. You'll get a
Yeah.
laugh
Yeah,
at it.
check out the
But
Captain America.
You got to
Yeah.
show appreciation. Oh, the Captain America.
Yeah, he's on
What's
a
worse, the
moped.
next Batman
No,
with the
no.
big old ears?
Albert West, that's a good one.
Adam West
But-
Batman.
Yeah, that's right.
But on my end, you guys, I grew up with the '90s, Superman, watching the cartoons on Fox Kids. I remember
Yeah.
getting out of school
exactly.
and with the song Spider-Man. I loved it, especially when they would show like the Sinister Six, all the bad guys there, and my favorite villain, like back to Green Goblin, he was just phenomenal. Him and Spider-Man going at it. I think he was one of my favorites. But let's switch it over now to the DC. So DC, we got the Flash, you guys. So
Awesome.
Barry Allen, he's faster, the speedster. So I don't know if our viewers watch, but please, edit that, please. But hey, the CW follow the channel there. I'm a big Flash fan. So let's twist it over here to Marquez. Marquez, what do you like about the Flash?
Well, he's a little one-dimensional, but at that same time, like I say, the simple, direct, the perfect thing to offset power is speed. And if you go as fast as you can, I mean, you think about it, why is a bullet so dangerous? Because it's moving at you at speed.
Super fast speed.
Yeah, and the faster you move, the more energy you create.
Nice.
And I think that's where the Speed Force came from. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's where, So the Flash, he's actually, I don't know, next to Superman.
Nice.
I've had to pick another hero. It'd be either the Flash or John Stewart Green Lantern
Okay.
in the DCU.
How about you, Chris?
Well, I mean, I really like the Flash. He's similar to Spider-Man. He's got the kind of the humble. He's not trying to fix necessarily everything all the time. But I really like, especially the dynamic that they carried through a lot of the cartoons, and even the Justice League movie with the Flash, is that he's really trying to just keep everyone together and help everyone have a good time. And he's not, he's not really trying to lead anything. He's just there. Although with that super speed comes super intellect as well, which gets lost a lot. I mean, he can run at the speed of light. He can also think at the speed of light. And a lot of times that gets lost. I really like the thinking heroes, Spider-Man, Flash, Batman, the ones that outthink often more than using their powers necessarily. So
There we go. And what about you, Gerardo?
So for me, the Flash is just, like I said, my favorite character from DC. I don't know if you guys have seen the series on Netflix.
No, I
The
haven't.
Flash.
No.
See,
Oh, yeah.
CW.
watch that all the time.
See,
Yeah,
I really like how they depict him as in, like you said, he's kind of one-dimensional, but his team like works in ways to like better at him. Like they get him a new suit. They he's one-dimensional, but he gets better as he goes. He learns from his mistakes, and I really like that about him.
Yeah, in that show, his team is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Cisco
I
is
love
awesome.
Cisco. Yeah,
Cisco.
he's a vibe.
Yep.
He's actually a cool.
But I'm an
character.
Wait, are you
Irish
talking
fan.
about Cisco from
I like
Drew
Irish,
Hill,
you know.
or no Cisco from
No,
Drew Hill?
no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no,
Oh, yeah.
not that Cisco.
Not that Cisco.
You just went way off the side.
Cisco, Crisco, whatever works.
But let's look at it like this. Okay, and then real quick to wrap him up, how does he play in the nucleus of the Justice League? How does he complement everyone? We heard already he's a team player. We know he's a comedian.
Crisis on Infinite Earths. He saves
Yeah.
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah, that was his thing.
I mean-
I mean, the Flash. There's been a lot of different renditions of the character.
Well, there's
Like,
been
I-
a lot of speedsters for sure.
Yes,
And
and
Wally
and I
West,
think, and I
Kid
have to
Flash.
agree that the best one yet is the series. And-
You remember the '90s one, the early '90s?
He's
Yes.
He's the dad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that.
I love that, man.
watched
That was
that.
a great.
Yeah,
But he's that series. I mean, I think he was in his 30s or something in that series, and
Yeah.
He aged pretty bad. But all right, you guys, like I said, congratulations to them for making it. And indeed, I look forward to the next month, villain and hero.
wait.
We got to see who it is. So
that's
you guys,
right.
like I said, stay tuned. Follow us on the channel, and you'll
who
see
do you want?
firsthand.
Put some comments on the.
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Comment
Yeah.
who you want to
Shoot
hear
us
about.
ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever works.
All
Yes.
right, you guys. Well, now let's touch up a little bit about the Spider-Man fiasco. So we just found out,
Uh-oh.
if you guys been following the news, is that we thought that we were going to get to keep Spider-Man in the Marvel universe. You know, Kevin Feige, we were expecting this to happen, and it looked
Can't
like
believe-
Sony.
they had to be making money.
Sony did it, and so before I get Marquez worked up, you guys,
yeah.
so I'm holding on.
lot
I'm
to
holding
say
on,
about
you guys.
this. This is gonna be
You
a
guys, hold on.
long-
Stay attention here.
Okay.
So, so I'm gonna say this thoroughly. So before I get to him, because he's gonna just explode here.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna start with Pat first on this. Okay, this is what kind of irks my nerve, and this is a shout out to my friend Drew. You know, Drew Rosales and family. I know he follows the superheroes here, so thanks for listening. Pat,
Yes.
why is it? And this is something that hurts to the core. Hollywood, money and dinner. Why do they make it to where they can't keep a character solid? Is it why does it got to be about the money? I mean, it's kind of obvious, but at the same time, I want to know in depth.
Because it's about the
Why? Like, why can't they just say for once, hey, you know what? Let's work together, make something
mean, they
out of
did,
this.
right?
We try. I mean, we saw that with Spider-Man: Homecoming and Far From Home. But answer that question for me on that.
I mean, I think in my
Please.
opinion, I mean, I heard a little bit about it. I didn't take the opportunity to read a little bit more. I think in my opinion, I think they want the recognition. I think a company wants that recognition as, oh, if we make this Spider-Man, we did it. You know, we did it. And so if they're not going to get that recognition, it's all about money and that. So that's all. I mean, again, I haven't read too much about it. I've heard of it. But, and just to kind of answer your question, I think it's just that recognition.
How about you, Kai?
Man,
He's your favorite character.
No, Iron Man's my favorite.
Yeah,
character.
Iron Man is. I'm
Spider-Man
sorry.
is what got me started with Marvel.
Gotcha. Okay.
movies.
I apologize.
Pause.
Long pause.
Man,
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a love for Sony since I started with well, I already forgot his name.
Toby.
Tobey Maguire. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I think it's a. See, I can't cuss that ish show.
Yeah.
Put the
Yeah.
filter there.
I don't know what to think about the whole ordeal. I really don't.
It's more of because it's more of a business.
just
thing. What about
sad.
you,
Right,
Gerardo?
right.
Tell me a little bit
No,
about it.
if,
Help me
if,
out.
if I'm being honest with you guys, it really tore me apart when I read it. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a scam. I thought it was a prank. Like it was.
I wish it was.
It was so bad. But I mean, I saw that Tom is still going to be playing Spider-Man, so that that
Well,
kind of
that's
eased me
pretty
up
cool.
a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
and,
better.
And,
yeah.
and I like that. So for me, looking at it like in a good point of view and not trying to down the negatives, I really want to see what Sony has to prove because, like you said, it's about recognition, and I feel like they want to prove themselves. So
Yeah.
I saw that they wanted to bring Venom into one of the movies I was reading up on
The
that.
new Venom, the
new Venom, of course.
Hardy Tom.
Yep.
Or Tom
Tom
Hardy.
Hardy.
Tom Hardy. So, don't get me wrong.
That'd be good.
That connection that Iron Man and Spider-Man had, I'm going to miss it, but I really want to see what they got in store for
Oh, yeah.
next.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's sad. Disney and Marvel, they make some dang good movies.
Yes.
They really know what they're doing. But of course, I mean, part of it has to do with that they're changing over who's running the Marvel stuff. Kevin Feige is on. I don't.
That's actually a cool name. I like that.
It's spelled kind of like beige, right? So-
All right, Marquez, go ahead, go at it.
Yeah,
go
save
at
me
it,
for
Marquez.
last. Okay, now, just
Take a deep breath.
one of the things that made the Marvel Cinematic Universe so successful, in my opinion, was the consistency
Correct.
across
Yes.
all these movies. Now, they don't have that with one of their characters. This is why DC, I think, is lagging behind, is because of the continuity is so inconsistent. You got two Flashes, you got a TV show, you got Superman on Supergirl,
Yes.
then you got
Okay. Yeah. I agree.
yeah.
Henry Cavill Superman.
He needs to come back, by the way.
And this is one of the things that it just bugs me. It really irks me. I don't mean to go off, but just one of the things that my dad always said, he would always say that inconsistency can be attributed to any failure.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what. And this is inconsistent. And I think by doing this, by letting these corporate, they don't care about the fans. They want their money and they're going to get it.
Yes.
See, this is why, whenever you go to a movie, and guys like us, they know we're going to be there. The comic book nerds,
diehards,
they know
yeah.
we're going to be there. So they almost make these movies from the standpoint. It seems like from okay, screw them. We're just going to try to attract these guys over here
More
and see
people.
who's. See, and that's always a challenge when you take something from an already existing IP and you make a movie out of it. Is the fact that you have to be respectful to the original fans, and then at the same time attracting new people. And I don't think that they're being respectful by doing this. I think that they're basically I'm not going to use any profanity, but no, they're basically using this from this corporate standpoint because they don't look at movies like we do. They don't look at
Right,
it. Okay,
what's
did you
gonna be
like it?
fun,
Did you
what's
enjoy it?
gonna
Did you enjoy it? Was it enjoyable? Did it make you laugh? Did it make you cry? No. How much money can we make? That is the bottom line, and I
Of
think
course.
that devotion to the bottom line, it ends up hurting a lot of the continuity. And this is, I'm sorry guys, I think this is the end of a lot of, because once they start doing that with other characters,
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
just,
Yeah.
you know, this is why DC doesn't have the
You can't get
cinematic
rid of that
universe.
emotional investment.
Go back to
Right.
standalone.
Furthermore, you know, what do they hope to accomplish? I want to ask, what are you trying to do? What's the goal here?
Yeah.
What I mean, is there an end game? No pun intended. You guys,
Money.
Do you have an end game? If that's it, fine. But then, and like, okay,
You're just
like,
doing standalones and
Yeah.
okay, now this is okay, like the Joker movie. Again, I found out the other day that it won't have anything to do with the DC cinematic universe.
Nope.
And it's like, okay, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Tell me why you would do that.
Well,
I don't understand. Well, you took a villain.
money.
Right.
Okay, so you're basically they're basically telling us we're trying to capitalize on the popularity of superhero movies any way we can.
Yeah.
Screw you guys. We don't care.
So
You know,
all,
and so this I'm sorry, I got one more thing. Okay. Can I just
Go
say
ahead,
something?
go ahead.
Can I just say
One
one more
more
thing?
thing.
Okay.
One more
When you and I know we've discussed this off camera, Carlos, but you know, this is my biggest gripe about a lot of superhero movies, or not necessarily the movie per se, but people's perception of superhero movies. I think it's, you know, when you go to a Superman movie, you pretty much know what to expect. You know, when you go to a Batman or Spider-Man, you know, okay, we know Batman's gonna throw things. He's wealthy. He's very highly skilled martial artist. When you create a new property, when you take it from the page, that a character that no one's seen yet, their expectation isn't there. You know, so there's no bar to cross over. You know, there's nothing there. You know, but that's the thing about the Joker. He's already been portrayed by how many people on screen?
So many good ones too.
So you have this expectation. You know, that now if he was an original, a character that no one's heard of before, that's what they would. That's how they should do that. Yeah, take that character out. But you're going into this with these high expectations of this one character, and then if you don't jump over that pole, that line, this expectation, then what? So they're taking this huge chance, and like I say, for what? You know, it's just, you know, I'm sorry guys, I didn't mean to ramble on, but I got more stuff.
you're
But
good.
I'm
but
sorry.
you know, to the point is
ahead.
overall,
Yeah.
I tell, you know, friends about when we get together and we're talking about the superhero. The thing is when you're basing it upon the movies, don't take it to the heart. Because I mean, I'm
That's the only way to take
old-fashioned.
it.
No, because I follow to the comic books. Whatever they wrote, that's what I follow. And the problem is like when we have these arguments, like the Avengers, like for example, when they did the Civil War, in the comic books, that wasn't like in the movies. But I have to accept it. This is what they do. Which okay, I get it. But at the end of the day, I'm not like, well, this is what happened. No, that's just based upon the movie.
So you're a big kind of canon guy.
Yeah, so I'm more canon, figure out
Yeah.
what it is. So, well, all right, you guys. Well, now let's just kind of wrap it on over to the Joker movie. So, Joker movie comes out October.
Well, I think we already solved it by.
Yes.
Okay, can I?
That's
pretty much.
Yeah. So
Okay,
on.
I'm sorry.
No, now watch. Let's tie in a little bit what Marquez was saying. So,
Yes.
Todd Phillips, you know, he's going to be directing this movie, and this is starring Joaquin Phoenix and one respectable actor, Robert De Niro, is going to be in this movie. So I'm going to go ahead and give this to Gerardo real quick. In a short summary, what do you expect in this movie?
No, from the trailer, man, and I know you can't judge a book by its cover,
Right.
but you know that trailer's got me excited. You watch the trailer and this guy just looks like a freaking lunatic. Like
I think that's. Yeah.
no, but I mean, to me it's just different. I have a really good feeling about this one.
Which
And-
trailer got you hyped? The first one you saw, or the
first
most
one I
recent
saw,
the
yeah.
last one?
No, the very first one. I
Really?
was intrigued by the very first trailer, and just lately I went to, I don't know if you guys follow IMBD. It's like a movie rating.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It got phenomenal ratings, guys.
yeah.
So
Of course.
let's it's gonna be great.
How about you, Kai?
Well, like why I asked him that question was, well, I saw the first trailer It was either no, it wasn't Into the Spider-Verse. It was a little later than that. I'm not sure if it was like Alita Battle Angel I went to go see or something, but
Great
let's just say
movie,
I
by
went
the
to
way.
go see
Great movie.
and I
Great
saw
movie.
that trailer, and it completely
all
turned me
about
off to this new Joker. I was like, what? This dude is actually insane, and they're portraying. I get that they're trying to like shed light on certain topics that movies don't generally cover, but. And I didn't necessarily understand where they were going with this new Joker, or if it tied into the universe at all. But I was not going to go see it. Had no interest in it whatsoever. And then the very last trailer came out, and I was like, wow, they're doing something here. Like I got to see this. I got to figure out what's going on here.
How about you, Pat?
Well, I'll be honest. I actually finally saw the Joker trailer maybe a week ago when I saw It 2, and I was really excited. However, I will say sometimes those trailers can be exciting, and then the high expectations
Yeah.
you might, because I think, in my opinion, it seems like they're probably focusing on a certain trait of the Joker, because I don't know, like what you guys said, I don't know if it's going to be part of the universe or is it going to tie to,
don't think it is.
so we don't know. However, I think Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor.
Sure.
The thing that kind of confused me, I don't know if they're focusing on him as a stand-up comic, which that kind of
It
that
looks like
confused
they're
me.
hitting hard on the mental health.
Yeah, the mental health
of it.
aspect of it.
Yeah.
So, I haven't really dived into it yet because I just finally saw a trailer, but I'm looking forward to it because the Joker's one of my favorite villains.
Oh, yeah.
So I do have high hopes. Anytime someone plays the Joker, especially when Jared Leto played the Joker in Suicide Squad, or, even when Heath Ledger did it, R.I.P. I was kind of like hesitant about that because I love Jack Nicklaus playing the Joker.
Yeah.
Being by
My
Nicholson.
Joker, favorite one, for sure.
Best Joker, I
I
think.
bet when
Really?
I bet when the
I
movie
think,
came out and Joker
Way to
came
make
and
it a
everybody
little
heard about
Yeah.
Heath Ledger. People are like, Heath Ledger, he did Brokeback Mountain.
That was the first thing.
He did 10 Things I Hate About You. How is he going to do it? And then you're just like, whoa.
Spectacular.
So,
Yeah.
so he did great. So it's kind of like, I think it's kind of the same for me. It's like, I'm excited, but I have to watch the movie.
How about you,
Right.
Chris?
I think it could be a good movie. Like I said, Joaquin Phoenix, he's a great actor. And I'm sure it's put together well. But it's just, to me, like, why? Like we know who Joker is. If you want to delve into, like, some psychopath comic book villain, there's so many you could go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like his
That's
history
it.
gets so deep into a lot of the Batman movies. I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's no tie-in anywhere.
Go at it,
Yeah.
Marquez.
Okay,
Go
I'll
for it.
keep it brief,
pew, pew.
but just
I don't know.
okay.
He's going to be
You
on fire.
have so many Jokers.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
what are you? If they want to do the psychological, like I say, a character that hasn't been seen before that would be a good psychological character is the ventriloquist. I think he's a great character.
If you're
for
wanting
that.
to do like a mental
Yeah.
health,
Yes,
Is
that would
is
be
part- is he part of
perfect.
DC?
Yeah,
Not the mayor.
he's a
Not the
Batman
He's a
villain.
Batman villain.
Oh.
He's a guy with a puppet.
He came
on
in the
his hand.
90s. He was
Yeah,
in the
he's from the
90s.
See, I
animated
haven't heard of this
series.
villain
Yeah.
until just today.
The puppet calls the shots, but he's clearly the ventriloquist controller.
he's
I'll
just
have to look
crazy.
it up, but I might have to like refresh my memory.
And actually, I have the comic book, the first edition. I
Yeah.
have it.
He would be, but this Joker movie, it's like I say, I'll give it a chance. Of course, I'll go see it, but
Yeah.
it's I just really think they're making a mistake by yanking it out of the Batman universe and trying to make it its own thing. And if it's successful, they're gonna keep doing it. So in a way, I want it to do well because it's a comic book character movie, but at the same time, I don't because
Right.
that will pave the way for more movies like this. And then there
Well, I
you go.
almost think-
That's how it all comes apart.
Right. I
It
agree.
seems the continuity, the consistency of the continuity is gone at that point. And once that happens, we're back to the 90s. Where how is that?
Is it-
Who is
well,
this?
this is
Yeah,
different.
because my son, he asked me, he goes, well, why is this Flash not
Yeah.
the one in the movie? Because
Right,
he's
yeah.
12. He doesn't.
Right.
He just
Yeah.
knows that's a different guy playing.
But I know there was a petition for it, and they were just like, "No, we're going to do
Yeah,
this."
yeah. Like what's the guy that played Smallville?
Jared, what wants?
No, he played Superman in Smallville.
Oh,
I guess I
I
should
didn't
know
watch
this as a
it, so
Superman
never
fan.
mind.
I remember that.
But no, they said he wanted to do Superman, but he was asking for way too much money because he knew he'd be typecast.
Yeah.
So.
And he
but-
already had fans and a following from
Yeah.
Smallville.
But to me, I thought it was an excellent idea.
I don't know
would
why you
have
don't.
loved- Yeah.
Carrie, I mean, you've got a great fan base usually with some of those, with a lot of those shows that would totally support
Because
the big screen.
exactly, and when at the end of the first Iron Man movie back in 2008, when we stayed at the end of the credits, and Nick Fury showed up and he said, "I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative." I was drooling. I was like, "What's this? What?" You know. And then I heard that you know, that he did the same thing in Hulk, and they just kept going with that. And then finally we got Endgame, and it all came together. And to me, that was Kevin Feige. That was almost a perfect body of work for the past 10 years.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was just
you're tying in all those emotional investments
Yes.
to every single one of those
Yes.
movies, and then all
Now imagine-
accumulated into one big movie.
Now imagine-
that was excellent.
if they took one of the villains out and gave him his own movie separate from that universe.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that ruin that?
Oh yeah.
But they're doing
Oh,
it with
yeah.
the Joker. I mean, we're all
Well, DC
no.
obviously
See,
doesn't
They're
have
known
that
for
same
that.
vision, you know.
no, they're not now, not yet.
Yeah.
And that being said, you know, with the Joker, to wrap him up on that, the thing is, Joker is my favorite Batman villain, and the thing is, we've seen him through the years. I mean, originally in the comic books, he was a straight villain. He
Yeah.
was crazy, and I mean, he was in the comic books. They show him killing people, and then through time, they made him funny. And
Yeah.
then with, of
Campy.
course, Jack Nicholson, that was
Yeah.
phenomenal. And I know it's always a subject about who's better, him, Heath Ledger. It's apples and oranges. At the
Yeah,
end of the
I
day,
definitely-
you can't
'cause I don't-
compare.
yeah.
You can't compare something that was at this time because Tim Burton had his vision here,
And
and then when Christopher Nolan did it, he took it to new levels, brought him here, and now with Todd Phillips with Joaquin Phoenix do it here. Now on that movie, real quick. It looks exciting. I have to go in not with an expectation. I have
Yeah,
to give
that's-
it the
But
benefit of the doubt.
how can you not have an expectation?
I mean, you know who
You
Joker
just-
is.
turn your brain off.
Well, and we'll just have to see. So, but on that being said, you guys, on the promotional side of that, like and subscribe on Wichita Vice, cause if you do, we're going to give away 2 tickets for the premiere of Joker.
Whammy.
I mean,
Yeah.
What?
so on that being said, 2 tickets.
Okay.
You can go twice.
Dos.
Or take somebody.
I'm a good guess on the movies.
Carlos, where do they go to do this?
I'll let you guys tell me about it before I see it.
But, so on that,
bring
means
that
if you've liked and subscribed through Razor Confirmation, we'll get you in. But it's your chances are better if you do it through
Like
Wichita
this
Vice.
channel.
So
Right down
channel.
there. I like
right.
it somewhere.
He's like right over
somewhere
here.
down there.
Right there, you know, up there, over there.
Oh yeah, somewhere.
I want to take a quick pause real quick, you guys. We want to go ahead. I want to say thank you to one of our sponsors here, and I'm going to hand this over to Pat.
Yes, our sponsor. Thank you to Sky Trampoline, located on 1820 South 9th Street in Salina, Kansas.
Yes.
Now, everybody's wondering, what do they provide? Well, let me tell you. It provides birthday
Yes.
parties, which has free admission for birthday boys and girls. They have group packages, so visit their website, which I will tell you guys later about the rates and details. Oh, if you're a big fan of dodgeball, oh man, they have dodgeball tournaments, co-eds, and you can register now for the fall league. Now, if you want to know all about this information, go to skytrampoline.net. It's not fake news, everybody. Skytrampoline.net. If you have any questions, you need to contact the lovely Sarah Loyal at 785-491-1118. Now, again, it is 785-491-1118. Thank you again for Sky Trampoline.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you to Sky Trampoline for sponsoring us. So let's go ahead and let's talk about a little bit shows that are coming out. We've got a lot of good shows coming out. I'm going to start off with I cannot wait for the new Westworld. That's going to be a new episode that's coming out. If you follow Prime, if you follow Hulu, what's Netflix, CBS, let's just throw out some channels. So real quick with Kai, what shows are you watching? Are you looking forward to watch?
One I'm looking forward to. I'm rewatching the entire couple series that surround it. There's a new Breaking Bad. So it looks like they're going to be covering Jesse's life, Heisenberg's assistant after the events of Breaking Bad. I'm not sure how it's going to tie into. What's the lawyer's name?
Saul.
Yeah, Better Call Saul. I'm not sure how it's going to tie into that series, but that looks really good.
On that, do they correlate with each other?
Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul?
No, I know that they do, but
Yeah.
I meant the show, especially with Jesse, because if I recall, spoiler alert, he breaks away from all that. I thought Heisenberg kind of let him go and he went his direction.
The trailer that I saw for this new series showed Jesse kind of being interviewed about the like what happened all through the Breaking Bad series, and then it
Quite a
kind
bit
of
of
just
stuff.
recapped everything that happened in Breaking Bad.
How about you, Gerardo?
So one of the shows I've been watching, but the second season just came out. It's called Mindhunters. And
cool.
for all the Wichita
Mindhunters.
locals here, I really recommend you guys watch that. It's about it's really based around two agents, Agent Ford and Agent Tinch, and they're in the so they investigate cases, serial killers, like cases that just are ongoing, and I'm not going to get too deep into this, but one of the cases they are investigating is the BTK from our very own Wichita. And I mean, it's just really, really neat to look into how they do it, how they did it back then, how they developed the word serial killers, because you see how you get to see the inside of that, and it's just really great, guys. It's worth the watch.
And to our viewers that are not from the local area, Dennis Rader was known as BTK, was a serial killer, and he was located in our hometown. I recall that it was a Sunday when he finally got caught.
Yeah.
So in your spare time, if you're into these kind of shows, follow Dennis Rader. They have a couple shows on him, don't they?
I believe so.
I think there's a movie
documentaries.
actually. I think there is.
But Wichita's safe, you guys, okay? Just come on here. Don't get worried. We're
Yeah.
We have good food.
And I think the acronym BTK stands for bind, torture, kill, or
You got it.
something like
That's
that.
correct.
You got
That
it.
was his
something
MO.
like that. Yeah. So
What shows you got in mind, Marquez?
well, the show that I'm just blown away by is consistently is Arrow.
Yeah, I love Arrow.
I mean, I really want to see where they go with this, or if they're going to conclude this, if this is the last season, if they're going to do one more, or how they're going to go with this. I mean, at first, it kind of lost me there a little bit after season 5, but now I'm back full swing. So that's my show.
Now on that, Marquez. Okay, so for the people that know Arrow, Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Now the whole thing with him being the Justice, is he really an official Justice League member, or
in the
where do you
comic
categorize him?
He's like a C leaguer. You got to,
Like JV varsity kind
yeah,
of?
he's kind of like a
D-League.
like one of the guys, one of the reservers.
It's mostly
kind of
by
thing. He's
choice,
more of a
though,
red
isn't it?
shirt.
Yeah, he doesn't really. Early on, Green Arrow, he said he doesn't work well.
Because
with
according
others
to our
because-
poster here, I mean, look, we got the Green Arrow
Look at
right
him.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's part of the team.
He
I mean,
helps when he needs
Yeah.
to.
is he
I
a
mean-
part-timer, PRN?
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, he initially said he didn't work well with others, and then now
Right.
he has a team. And, one of the things that Batman, he constantly gets accused of being a loner, but he surrounds himself with a lot of kids who he trains. And it's like, okay, so where are you
different
at
time.
with that?
Yeah, it's a different time now. We can't, but not
So,
anymore.
Yeah, if Batman had came out today, he'd be arrested for child endangerment.
He'll have to apply for a
But he-
child
yeah.
molester license.
He probably
so-
would call one of the best lawyers. I mean, he's got the money.
yeah. So I'm sure you
If they got hurt on the job, they'll just call Devon James.
Yeah. But no, just the Arrow. That's my show. I mean, that's really I'm
show.
super excited about that.
What about you, Chris?
I've got a couple. I'll briefly. One's called Van Helsing. It's on
Helsing,
Netflix.
Yeah, that's a good show.
It's based on the comic book Helsing, which
Yeah.
it's pretty good. I like it. It's pretty fun. One that I'm really in right now, though, it's a new Netflix release. It's called Woo Assassins.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw
okay.
that. I watched
Okay.
the first couple episodes.
That's
good.
pretty
Yeah,
good. That's
it's
pretty
really good,
intense. So
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I've been
We'll keep
watching that. I
that.
like that one. It's
All
good
right,
martial arts and
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it the same thing, like, real quick, is it the same thing like Into the Badlands?
No. I mean, it's set like here, like
Okay.
San Francisco, present day.
Gotcha.
So yeah, no. Into the Badlands is like post-apocalyptic type
Post-apocalyptic.
stuff,
What
which
about
is
you?
good one.
You
I
gotta
did.
check that
I do
out.
enjoy that one.
What about you, Pat?
Into the Badlands is nice.
Into the Badlands.
Well, I have the old technology called cable. I can't cable still, guys. I didn't watch my Cox Communications. I'm actually looking forward to the new American Horror Story 1984. That's premiering
yeah.
next Wednesday,
was the year I was
guys.
Still
born.
going on with those?
Yeah,
Wow.
still going on it. Yes. So they're bringing it back into the 80s because, around the 80s, that's how a lot of the horror movies. And so I think, I didn't watch a lot of the trailers yet, but from what I've seen a little bit, they're bringing it from like the summer camp. You know, in the 80s, they always did a lot of horror, the summer
Jason
camp.
Speaking of which, yesterday was just it.
Yeah, what's September
Friday,
13th
yeah,
yesterday?
September 13th. And so I know some of the older, the original characters out there. I don't really like to read the cast list until I see the first opening.
Yep.
I always look forward to the opening of American Horror Story because I always want to know who's in
Who
it.
the new guests are.
Yeah, all of that. And so, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I mean, the last couple of seasons have been great, and there has been some that haven't. But I think this is a good. I think this will probably be good.
What'd you think about the one with Lady Gaga and Angela
No, I
Bassett?
did not like that. I think when you had Jessica Lange, who really just kind of put that on a pedestal, and it's like, I'm gonna take a break, and you get Lady Gaga. Now, American Horror Story Hotel was just. It did not make any sense to me.
Gotcha.
Okay, it was a haunted hotel. It doesn't make sense. Now, I like when they had the season when they kind of brought everybody together. I think that was the last season. They brought Murder House Hotel. I thought that was really cool. But no, I did not like that one.
All right.
No.
Well, so have you seen any movies lately? Okay, we talked about It. What'd you think about the It movie?
I actually enjoyed it, but it was more to me. I'm sorry, guys. It was just funny.
Spoilers, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Spoilers.
spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
I mean, when you look at it from a kid's perspective, I mean, it had the jump scares. You know, we had
Yes.
that. Yeah,
Yes,
they
I
got me a
agree.
couple times.
Yes.
You know, I was like, oh. but, but you know, just like when the lady ran and her.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I was like, okay, wait, no, that's just not right. No,
I thought they poured
mean,
something in my drink because I was like, did I just see that?
Yeah.
Well, did you just? I mean, if you actually pay attention, I can't wait to watch that in slow motion. No, I mean, just to see how they animated this
That is
woman.
creepy, though.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
it
her
was.
breasts, they look like dirty gym socks filled with room temperature mayonnaise. And I'm like, what the?
That's a good description.
And
Make sure not
smell
to be
that.
around elderly people.
Parental warning advisory.
Okay,
there.
sorry,
Okay,
sorry. Okay, we'd edit that out. But it just, I just laughed out loud, and everyone in the theater looked at me like, no. When I saw it, this is my reaction. I saw it.
Oh man.
In the theater, and I was like, oh, crap. Oh, sorry.
Okay,
guys,
so
sorry.
comparing. Okay, real quick, comparing the Tim Curry version, and I don't know how to say the guy because he's from Sweden.
Bill.
Starts with an S.
Skarsgård.
Okay.
Skarsgård.
Okay, so with
Skarsgård.
so Gerardo, so have you seen the old one by chance?
I'm not very familiar with those.
Okay, let's hand it over to old school here, Chris. Tim Curry.
I was a lot younger when Tim Curry's one came out, and that
we
still
all were.
like if someone's like, think of a scary clown, I close my eyes. That's what I see. Tim Curry's it face, man.
My
Just-
parents scarred me for life because I remember they had it on the ABC channel, and it was a miniseries.
Yeah.
Oh, the balloons, the red balloons.
Yeah.
So
I think I'm the oldest
crazy.
one here, so.
Wait, how old are you?
45.
Okay, 45. And how old are you, Chris?
42.
42. Okay,
so-
I'm 33.
You guys are old.
So.
Yeah, so.
You guys are
I
young.
actually-
You're at your prime. That's what they say.
right.
When you're at your
Yes.
prime.
prime.
I actually
so.
watched the original It like over and over again. I mean, back then.
Oh wow.
I mean, if we watch it now, we look at it. Oh, it's kind of cheesy, but back then that was state of the art. I mean,
Oh, yes,
I
it
it's
was
not-
scary as. all get
Yeah,
out.
and it just made me think. It just gave me these chills, and I
Right.
remember thinking like,
have you read the book?
No,
Yes.
I've read
yes.
the book.
I would
It's
like
really
to
good.
Read, I would like to read the book.
It,
Yeah.
It's long, but the thing is I want to compliment on this new movie. They were touching a little bit bases on the movie, on the book, but it's still Hollywood. They have to do their own little
yeah.
scene.
A little
Yep.
different.
But let's just say it was not bad. Okay, so let's move it on
Stephen
up
King.
a little bit. Let's talk about Star Wars, you guys.
Oh.
Okay,
Star Wars.
So let's talk a little bit about Star Wars here. All right, you guys. So we know the Rise of Skywalker is about to come out in December. So Kai, I want to ask you: have you seen any of the Star Wars movies?
Oh yeah, especially the new ones.
Ooh, yeah.
Some of my favorite ones.
What's your favorite?
The Last Jedi.
Really?
Okay.
Recent one.
Nice.
The most recent one.
Oh,
That was
I thought that was excellent.
I liked it myself, but
Like
I
I like.
wonder what the viewers and audience think. I mean, tell us what was your favorite movie? I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
Yeah, let us know.
let us know,
for
please.
sure.
Okay, so on that, we know already that on The Last Jedi, okay, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's in a poll of your Star Wars true fans, it's the least popular besides Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But let's just say this. With JJ coming back, and I'm gonna give this one to Pat. So with JJ coming back, and thank goodness they brought in George Lucas. Thank goodness
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
back.
they did.
So
Yeah,
yes.
Like a
That's what
consultant or something.
No, he wrote the
said.
last.
Oh.
Yeah, he wrote it with J.J. Abrams.
Oh,
so
okay.
Disney. Thank
Well,
you,
it was
hey
with
Disney.
somebody.
Thank you for doing something right. You let George Lucas come back.
That's smart.
So
Yeah, it is
that
very smart.
that being said, and we're just going to just touch up just a little bit on this. So what do you think the expectation is going to be? Do you feel the pressure is going to be on him and his writers to fix all the errors that were happening? And I don't want to say The Last Jedi was an error. I just want to say is that I felt Rian Johnson was trying to go his own way on it,
Yeah.
and it made the true Star Wars fans upset. They're like, well, that makes no sense because we still didn't figure out who Rey's lineage is. We don't know where Snoke came from.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It didn't really compliment.
Yeah.
So on that, what's the expectation for J.J. Abrams?
Well, I think that's the expectation to kind of fix it all up because this is the last one, right?
For the Skywalker era.
Right.
Okay,
Skywalker
yeah,
saga.
of course.
Yeah,
so
saga, yes.
when you have people that grew up in the Skywalker era, there's always going to be those expectations. And so with George Lucas being there, I think now we're like, hey, you need to end this correctly, you know.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
because I know now they're going to focus on the other aspects of Star Wars now, but this is it. Let's finish it, and then that we can be like, they did their justice.
How about you, Marquez?
Well, like I say, that expectation is there, but to me, The Last Jedi, it was a bad attempt at taking Star Wars in a different direction. I think the fact that they had this foundation to stand on, they just kind of jumped off of it and said, okay, we're going to go over here. They didn't use anything that J.J. Abrams originally set up with The Force Awakens. To me, it just felt like a huge departure from not just the original continuity, but from what The Force Awakens had set up. That's the.
They pulled a
I'm-
DC.
I'm trying to say things about it that hasn't already been said.
Right. And,
But one of the things that really disappointed me in it was the villain, Snoke. I thought they had a chance to really provide you with something,
Like background?
something. I mean, it's like, say, for instance, if you present a character that's disfigured, you're gonna have to answer what. Like, say, if
Yeah.
I had a
Yeah,
patch,
that's true.
if
There's
I
a
had
lot
a
of
patch
open-ended
over my eye,
questions for that.
and
Yeah.
you guys eventually would ask me, okay,
Yeah.
Marcus,
Yeah.
you're not being rude, but how did you lose your eye?
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So when you present a character that looks like he fell asleep in a deep fryer, you gotta explain that. You can't just kill him, he's dead.
Well, Andy
Yeah.
was
No.
extremely strong. I mean, he could hold them both.
And where did he
Yeah,
come
that
from?
is
Who
that
was
is
he?
true.
Why
I
did
didn't
he?
understand that.
I feel like they're
Yeah.
going to cover that in
Yeah.
the future, though.
Yeah, but how?
well, you
No idea.
I mean, yeah,
Well, I mean,
there is,
Everyone wants
there
to
is
know,
some
give us some
comic
comments.
books. There's some comic books that are about to come out
That
before
don't-
the movies come in. So like when they did Star Wars what was that after they were talking about literally leading to like the Battle of Jakku. Even like the Force
Yeah.
Awakens, they didn't talk about the Battle of Jakku that much. I had to find
No,
out through
no,
games, research,
Yeah.
and following other YouTubers. Urban, Star Wars urban acolytes.
Yeah.
Mike Zero, big fan
Yeah.
of Mike Zero. But still, let's just see what happens. I mean, we'll go more in depth as the next episodes come. We'll find out about that. Okay,
I'd
so
say
I want to take the time, you guys, to introduce the new channels we're about to do for Razor Cut Information. So, Pat, can you tell us a little bit about your new show that you're about to do?
Well, my new show is going to be called the NWO. It is the New Wrestling Order. So I am a big wrestling fan, and so I'm going to be bringing back that wrestling, that inner child that we used to watch wrestling, and we're going to bring it back. We're going to be talking about so much stuff. We're going to talk about what's your favorite heels, babyface. We're going to talk about independent wrestling. We're going to talk about the strong style from London, the lucha libre from Mexico, the New Japan wrestling style. So
That's
all
sweet.
type of stuff. I mean, there's so much stuff we're going to talk about. And so, as I say, the NWO, the New Wrestling Order, my words are going to be too sweet, but you're going to remember it for life.
I like that. I love that.
Wow, it brings back my good old days. I remember I was that kid.
Yeah, me
My
too.
brother and I, Monday night,
Yeah,
start at
right,
7, WCW Nitro, and then on to WWE. Well, no, it was WWF.
Right.
Raw is War.
Raw.
Correct.
Aren't
Yeah.
they bringing
So-
something to Primetime
Yes.
Network soon?
Yes. So a little bit about that. Yes. So there's a company that's called
excited
AEW,
about
which
that.
is started by Cody Rhodes, whose father was Dusty Rhodes,
remember
R.I.P.
him.
They're going to start in October. That's a new production, but WWE is bringing SmackDown because Fox bought SmackDown,
Oh,
and so
okay.
they're bringing it on Fridays, and that's actually
it'll be
in
on-
October as well.
That'll be
And
good.
so, but if people are fans of wrestling, there was a independent section of WWE called NXT, and they're bringing that to prime time, and they're premiering next week
Nice.
as well. Their first live, so it's going to be kind of interesting how they're going to do that.
That's
Yeah.
when I started watching it. I mean, it was on, I think, WWF was on Sunday afternoon at like noon or
Yeah,
something.
they had
when I was
some
a
in the
kid.
Monday, and then they had some on Saturday.
and it was on regular TV, not
Yeah.
not
Who
having to.
was your favorite wrestler, Chris?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
back
who's
in
your
the
best
day?
wrestler? Yeah.
Oh, Ultimate Warrior, man.
Okay.
All right, R.I.P. Ultimate
shaking
Warrior.
those ropes.
How about you, Marquez?
Oh, I had so many. I loved Andre the Giant.
Okay.
You know, he was
Classic.
actually my guy. You know.
Yeah.
But
Did you watch the documentary?
yes.
Great,
Oh,
so
man.
good.
He just basically his body wouldn't stop growing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
his the drinking.
Check
the
out that
feasting.
documentary; it's good.
Yeah, it was.
And the
just-
Ric Flair one too.
I haven't
on
seen that
HBO.
one. That's a good one. I heard that was a good one.
Yes,
Ric
it
Flair.
was. It
Yeah.
was.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
What about you, Gerardo?
Oh, my favorite one was the Heartbreak Kid.
Oh, Shawn
now
Michaels.
Heartbreak.
Yeah. Oh man, that was the jam.
Yeah, he's my guy.
Yes.
How about
yeah.
you, Kai?
I am not a wrestling fan.
Never watched it.
I mean, okay.
He's a John Cena
You
fan.
got- you-
No,
you-
no.
Yeah,
No,
I
I mean,
also,
Rock.
I'll take one for. I also like Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
The bad guy. I mean, he came out with this
Yes.
slick, cool, just kind
Yeah.
of like that. That
Yes.
you know, screeching tires.
Remember the toothpick? I like the toothpick.
What about,
Yeah,
yeah.
so clean.
Razor's
He
edge.
was
Oh,
so
yeah.
I remember
clean.
trying that on my brother. And
Did you get him like here, or you got him right with the neck? That was a killer.
See, that show's
yeah,
gonna be
it was,
great.
yeah.
Make sure you tune into
Yeah,
it.
do that.
We're not even know that much about it.
So what? So go back to. I mean, I know you say you're not a wrestling fan,
Well,
but
I,
was
got,
there?
I had a couple favorite wrestlers like Hulk
Yeah,
Hogan.
yeah.
The Hulk-
Okay, that's fine.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
I like him, but my all-time favorite,
Yes. Drum roll, right?
Macho Man Randy
Oh
Savage.
yeah, with the Slim Jim.
There's a lot of mods in some of the games that I play that feature Macho Man Randy Savage, so I got to
Okay.
give it to him.
Uh huh.
Especially in that WrestleMania game, I used to
yeah.
like it.
Oh,
Macho
yeah.
Man, 'cause
Yeah,
you
he
could just
was-
get up
Rest
there,
in
elbow
peace.
drop.
yeah.
Well, I mean, growing up watching wrestling, I mean, Undertaker was my favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I love him. too.
in WCW, because I didn't know Lex Luger in the WWF
Luger?
at the time, but the total package. When I watched WCW, I was a big Lex Luger. I liked Rey Mysterio.
Oh, Rey
I mean, Diamond Dallas Page.
Diamond Dallas
and
Page,
Juvie
yes.
Juice, and of course Ultimo Dragon. But overall, it was a male soap opera. It was for a family soap opera. You know, you got your soap opera like Days of Our Lives, and you got wrestling. It was you invested, you sat down, you watched the shows. So you know what, Pat? I'm looking forward to this show. So
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm
Can't
looking
wait.
forward to it too. And then getting people now that I will say that wrestling has changed. And so that's why there's so much that style. So we'll kind of dive into it. We might talk about our favorite matches and why we like it. You know, we might go over some of the pay-per-views. There's a pay-per-view coming out this Sunday, Clash of the Champions. And so we might go over those. We might go over all of those shows and figure out which matches we like and dislike. So I'm really looking forward to it. Maybe bring some of my friends that are fans, and we'll might have a discussion, bring you guys, you know, and everything. So it'll be fun.
well, we'll look forward to that. So like I
yeah.
said, follow you guys. Patrick's new show, NWO.
New
So,
Wrestling Order.
Awesome.
The
Can you
preceding
dig it?
announcement has been paid by the NWO.
All right, that's sweet. Who remember that one? No,
Yeah.
you guys don't.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I'm getting old. I'm getting old.
I had the T-shirt.
Everybody had the T-shirt. Oh no!
Well,
Oh no! You're gonna have to look it up.
One year.
All right, well,
Oh man.
well, next up, Kai's got a new channel.
Uh-oh.
We got to know about this. Kai,
you got,
talk to us
Kai?
about your new channel.
Well, I am bringing channel FGL to Wichita Vice. Carlos here gave me my big break, so
All right.
I have no intentions of letting him down at all. So what
Thank
I'm
you.
going to be covering is everything gaming, from PC to
Nice.
Xbox to even the console that I don't like, PS4. Lots of stuff about the Switch. Switch seems to be a really trendy console nowadays.
It's fun.
And I have never been in like Nintendo. I mean, I had a Game Boy, the Color, the SP, the Advance, but that was back in the day. That's what I started on. So, first episode, I'm gonna cover a lot of topics. We have a discussion topic. if you guys don't know anything about Norman Reedus, a dude from
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead,
yeah.
he's going to star in this new game from Hideo Kojima. He big name in gaming, but the game is called Death Stranding. It has been dubbed online and on Reddit as Reedus and the Fetus. It is a very, very weird looking game, and people still don't know what it's going to be about.
Which
But
console is it coming out for?
PS4 exclusive, I believe. So yeah. But
That's too bad.
that's going to be the discussion
That
topic
is.
that I want to cover. Every now and then I'm going to have updates on different games from PUBG's future to the future of Fallout 76. Fallout 76 did have a very rough start, but they're doing a lot better. And currently we got Project Clean Appalachia going on. So in Double XP, we got a bunch of different events. You just got to go to the website and check it out, and I'll cover it later. But so from Channel FGL, I might have some guests on every now and then from the Mixer stream team that I put together. And if you want to check out what we've accomplished so far, check out Frank Horgan 2077 on Twitch. Go ahead and plug myself real quick. And then the Facebook page, find us at Channel FGL.
Sweet.
YouTube is going to be through Wichita Vice or Cutting Info.
Razor cut info.
Razor Cut Info.
You got
Are you
Razor
guys
Cut.
gonna be hitting any tournaments, local tournaments,
yeah.
talks,
Oh, yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that?
PUBG, I follow a lot of PUBG Europe League, and then it's just easy to say. I host them on my channel all the time. But
Nice.
So you should know who Xavier Woods is, right?
Xavier Woods.
Up, down, down. You never heard of Up, Down, Down?
No.
He's a wrestler, but he's a big gamer. You should need to check out his channel. I mean, he kind of does something maybe similar, but yeah, check it out. I was wondering, are you gonna do any reviews for games?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Kind of. Are you gonna? You have like a certain rating, like 5 Kais, 3 Kais, or sad
I'll
Kai?
figure out something.
Okay, okay.
This is prime time for games coming out since it's towards the fourth quarter of the year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
So
right.
Everything-
we
So,
got Modern
everything's
Warfare
dro-
coming out. Borderlands 3.
We need to
is coming out.
discuss that. I got it and I've been playing it.
Do you like it? I really don't
love
like the whole tongue-in-cheek humor to it.
Oh,
that kind of
love
turned
it.
me
It's
off. I
the
like the art
best.
style to it though.
It's the original looter shooter. It's actually one of the best co-op games I think in existence.
It's still co-op.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
say looter shooter? That's like my
Borderlands,
college
is that-
nickname or
You're
something.
Well, you know what? I'm already excited. I'm looking forward to this channel. So,
Got a big future ahead of us.
like you said
Yeah, that's
before,
right.
follow us through on his channels and also follow through our webpage, razorcutinfo.com. We'll have all the information there, and also we'll be streaming on YouTube in upcoming channels. Well, you guys, we're coming to a close. We're looking forward to next episode. We're going to talk about the new hero and villains of the month. We're going to also talk about the new Star Wars TV show, The Mandalorian. And
Yeah.
Chris, I know Chris is excited about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And we'll do the
Maybe
review.
Air
over-
Capital Comic Con.
Oh, yes, and we'll go more
yeah.
in depth about that.
Try to
Follow
get-
us on the webpage on that. Now, again, I'll reiterate the Joker tickets. Like, subscribe through Vice. If you want to go through Razor Cut information,
V-I-C-E.
that's fine. Put your name and email. I will get you in the drawing as well. But your chances are better if you like and subscribe through our YouTube page.
Do it.
at
Word.
Wichita
Just
Vice.
do it.
Us.
So that being said,
Just click the
I'm
button.
out. Anybody got anything to say?
Mic drop.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Tune in, you guys. See you later. Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.